All right, you guys. Hey, hey, hey. This is Pink Life Live. It is January 27th, and we are so excited that you guys are joining us. If you're not watching this live with us tonight, you're going to watch this on a replay. But tonight, Senior Ruby Ambassador Karen Cottin, along with some of her team members, are going to be sharing some tips and tricks tonight. They're going to be bringing it on. We have Lindsay Anderson. She is a Gold Ambassador, and she's relatively new. And she's also a teacher, so she works full time and works Plexus, in the nooks and the crannies right now of her life and what that looks like. But she and her husband have had incredible results with the products as well. They're doing some things too that we asked Lindsay to come on board and share. And then Josie Musso is a Gold Ambassador, working her way to Senior Gold and then on to Ruby. And so Josie has been doing something really cool. It's a little old school for some, but it is highly effective and really efficient, and it works. So Josie's going to be sharing that. Kimberly and I are going to come in at the end with Kenny. We're going to wrap up. We have some exciting things coming down for February that we want to close out this month strong, but also give you guys some tools and some information that you can apply for these next couple of days as you bless your friends and your families with these insane deals that are going on. So just some housekeeping really quick. Don't forget, welcome packs are $98 right now. That's a really big deal. They're already marked down 10% off, but then what is really neat is our coupon code still works. So we're able to bless our friends and family with an additional savings on top of that. And so that is really stinking cool, which really, if you do the math, it breaks down that VIP upgrade and it makes it free, which is cool. I don't know about you guys, but free is for me. Like, I love free stuff. I wish I had these kind of deals when we got started a couple of years ago. We didn't have any coupon codes. We didn't have any discounts. You know what, though? Looking back 3 years later, it's the best investment we ever made. I had a $39 investment to start off, then to purchase my welcome pack, and the same thing for Kenny. And there was no looking back. And there's no going back. But what is cool is that we do still contain that 100% money back guarantee, which is really, really neat. So without further ado, you guys, I'm going to throw this over at Karen and her incredible team, you guys, as they have just skyrocketed and are creating massive momentum within their team, and how and why and all the things. They're going to be sharing that tonight with us. So Karen, take it away.
Hey, you guys, thank you so much for being here tonight and joining us and taking the time out. Life can be busy, but taking this time out to be on the call. Thank you so much. A little bit about myself. I am a mom of 4 boys. I've been married to my middle school sweetheart for going on 24 years in April. Some of my favorite things are the beach. I love to scrapbook. I actually love organizing, and I love home decorating stuff. So just a couple little things about myself. So my journey with Plexus. So my journey with Plexus started in March of 2019. I remember the day, you guys, like it was yesterday. I had just seen my doctor. And I had been watching Jenna for about 3 months prior to that doctor appointment and reaching out to her. And I left the doctor's office that day so incredibly frustrated. They wanted to put me on another medication. I had been suffering from depression for a long time. I'm going to go into that a little bit later, a little bit more in depth, but another medication. And like I said, I was frustrated, and I had seen Jenna. I had known some of the struggles that she had gone through. And I reached out and I said, girl, tell me about this thing that you're doing. What are you doing? Because I could see the changes. And it was just very apparent. And it was only in a short amount of time, like probably 3 months or so. So I reached out. I know her. I trust her, and I love her. And I know that she had my best interest in mind when I was reaching out. So like I said, I left the doctor's office. frustrated, reached out to her, and I thought, what if these products could help me like they helped Jenna? I had been on about 7 to 8 different medications at the time. Like I said, I was on a depression medication. I had just seen my psychiatrist that day. She wanted to change my medication because they weren't working anymore, guys. My anxiety meds, was on anxiety medication, migraine medication, insomnia medication, anti-seizure medication. I'll talk about that in a minute, and thyroid medication. I've battled depression since about 13 or 14 years old. With that came chronic stomach issues. I was constantly, when my parent, going to school, I always would have a stomach ache because I'd have to do the book report and get up in front of people and all the things. My stomach was like in knots since I was young, little girl. Well, middle school was absolutely horrible for me. Like, it was awful. The middle school years were hard. They were so hard. So at about 15 years old, was in, 8th grade, I guess, probably 8th grade or so. I don't know, might be off that, but it's about 15. That was the night, you guys, that I decided I was done. Like, I couldn't deal with all of the stuff, there's stuff going on within our family and middle school stuff, bullying, all the things. And that night I actually tried to take my life. But God, fast forward, so tried to take my life, was in a hospital for months, couple months of out or inpatient, and then went to outpatient. And that rocked my world, that rocked my family's world, if you can imagine. But God spared me. And I know that He is using it for His good, because I can't even tell you guys how many conversations and people that I run into that are dealing with a lot of the same struggles. Fast forward, okay. From there, married Brian, and we started having kids, and the depression and the anxiety was still there. It didn't go away. About 12 years ago, I started battling with hemiplegic migraines. Was in the ER multiple times. They thought I was having stroke multiple times because my right side, I'd lose feeling in my right side. And that was the diagnosis. Hemiplegic migraines, we're going to put you on another medication. And I battled migraines. I would get migraines at least a couple of times a month. And when I would get them, would be down for days, 3-4 days. So I remember I had a trip planned to Haiti. Jenna and Kenny, you guys probably remember this. It was actually, I had been to Haiti the year before, and I was so excited to get to go to Haiti with my husband and my older boys. And sure enough, I couldn't go. I was in the hospital, and Jenna's shaking her head because she remembers, because it was, remember reaching out, just being so incredibly, again, frustrated. So I couldn't go to Haiti, was having stomach issues at the time, needed to do a procedure the next day. Brian was flying out. He was going on his very first mission trip, and I couldn't go. So I was having a little pity party, you guys, to be honest, that I was, I couldn't go. I was frustrated again. And Brian went, he had a great time, came back from Haiti, and the boys, they had a good time. But then about 5 years ago, I started having stress-induced seizures. Again, Kenny and Jenna were there for a piece of this. I saw 3 different doctors because I did not believe the diagnosis. How in the world can somebody have seizures from stress? Didn't even know it was a thing. And like I said, I got 3 different opinions because I didn't believe it. And then finally, I ended up in the hospital, and Kenny and Jenna were there, and that was it. That was the fourth doctor that told me that's what it was: stress-induced seizures, pseudo seizures. Left the hospital in a wheelchair, unable to walk, months and months of therapy. And that, you guys, was my rock bottom. Like, this now was affecting my entire family. It is affecting every area of my life. The things that I'm passionate about, which is ministry, to be involved in women's ministry and to serve and to do all of the things. And I never knew whether or not, so I'd make a commitment and have to cancel that commitment because I couldn't do it. I physically could not do it. And my family was suffering. The things that they saw during that time, it's horrible. I was the girl that said yes to every single thing. I did not want to let anybody down. So yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, yes, yes. You will not get a no from me. And like I said, my body reacted in a way that I didn't even know was possible. And I had no other choice but to stop and rest, because God had said, this is it. Like, this is it. You weren't listening to your body, and here we go. Now you're forced to rest. And that's exactly what happened. God taught me a lot during that season. And that was one of the main things, is to, number one, listen to your body. If it's saying slow down, do it. You don't need to say yes to every single thing. Just because it's a good thing doesn't necessarily mean it's a God thing. And third, it's not selfish to make you a priority. It's not. But why for so long was I believing the lie that it's selfish, to take care of me? No, it's not, because in order to fill others, I need to fill my cup first, right? Because if I'm pouring, you can't pour from an empty cup. Nothing's gonna come out. And that's what happened. So I was tired of being that mom, relying on the naps, making it through the day, doing all of the things. Like I said, those seizures threw our family for a loop. I was tired of making those commitments that then I would have to cancel. And then came, like I said, Texas in March of 2019. And for the longest time, I prayed for God to take away the things that I was going through. I wanted healing from the migraines, from the depression, from the anxiety, from all of the things. And little did I know that He would bring this little pink drink to change my life, to not only change my life, but to impact lives that are dealing with the same things, moms that are dealing with the same things, wives that are dealing with the same thing. Like I said in the beginning, the people that God brings in your life, and when you go through something, I was talking with Josie about this today, when you go through something, He will bring other people in your life that are going through the very exact thing that you can speak life into. So I do not for 1 second take what He has done for granted. I'm so incredibly grateful. Not only did He heal me of every single thing, because today I can tell you I am not on a single medication. Anxiety meds, depression meds, Hashimoto medication, everything. It's done. I was on about 7 different medications, you guys. And here's the thing, like, when you guys know, when mom is sick, it affects the entire family, right? So to be at this place of freedom in my own health journey, but also my family, like the things that the things that I'm able, last night, for instance, Drake wanted to go to a basketball game, which seems really simple, you guys, but we could actually go and we can enjoy it and we can spend time together. camping, doing all of the things that we wanted to do for so long, but I never knew what I would feel like the next day. You know, if you're have a migraine and then you're down for 3 days or whatever that looks like. So incredibly thankful for what he's done in my life, but it's just affected my family and so many families. Want to encourage you that whatever you are praying for today, don't stop. Like I said, that was something that I had prayed for God to heal me of, and I never ever would have dreamed that he would have done it through a pink drink, through my friend and her husband, who we have done ministry with for years. But honestly, when I got through to that rock bottom point, like I was talking about with the seizures about 5 years ago, I shut everybody out. And it wasn't a personal thing against anybody. And honestly, it was a me thing. I didn't want, number one, it was a lie that I was telling myself and that I was believing from the enemy, is I didn't want to burden them. I didn't want to, so I would just isolate. Well, that's the worst place to be when you're going through anything, is isolation. That's exactly where the enemy wants you. So I kind of lost track for a second, you guys. So, oh my goodness. Consistency and time. It did not happen overnight. That is the key. Like, if I have anything to leave with you tonight, it's just be consistent. Trust the process. Like, the time that it's not an overnight fix, right? It takes time. And my body didn't get in the shape that it was in a short amount of time. That was years and years and years. But if you take your stuff every single day, like your life depends on it, man, the things that you can experience, the healing that you can experience is absolutely incredible. To this day, my body is still healing. So I'm off all medication, but my body is still in the process of healing. So one of my very favorite things about this journey is not only the healing that I have experienced, but the friends and family that we get to do life with. We get to do life with amazing, like-minded families. And it's our Plexus family. It's our Plexus family. And I'm so excited for you to hear from Lindsay tonight and Josie, but I'm going to pass it off to Lindsay for a second. Lindsay, will you take a minute and share your journey so far, and like when you and Jeffrey got started and how it's been, what you guys have experienced?
Yes, ma'am. We are one of those families that she blessed. I can definitely thank you, Karen, for reaching out multiple times to try to bless me. I think, oh my gosh, I don't know how many different times I'd reach out and then I'd ask a few questions, then I'd be like, yeah, no, not ready. Okay, and then we're ready. Oh, no, we're not. So my stubborn personality definitely set in quite a bit. But I am so thankful she never gave up on me. Because when I finally started my journey in April, just this past April, haven't regretted it since. My goal was to be in the best shape ever when I turned 40, which at that point I had 1 year to work on it. I have always struggled with like an addiction to food. I've kind of come to find out that that's like a pretty big word, but I really was. I was like addicted to food and like sugar. And my body just reacted negatively for all my years. So when I signed up, I was immediately told by Karen that if I could sign up 3 plus me, I could get my products paid for and more. And so I was like, the incentive for that month was over $400 if I got 3 people. So I was like, you know what? Who doesn't want $400? That's a really big blessing there. So I immediately signed up my husband, I signed up my daughter, and then so I only had to find 1 other person. And I did. So I was still skeptical, but the company, it's legit, you guys. Sends us the money. It went straight to my Venmo. It's just been a blessing for our family ever since. And we've been getting healthy for free ever since then. So it's absolutely amazing. So I was thinking it was going to be hard to get other people to join me on this health. But I've come to find out people are like waiting around for an invite. I didn't feel very confident in the product. Like, oh, how am I going to do this? But I didn't really have to be. I've got all of my friends that know way more about the products and have much more experience than I do. So I just kind of and put them in like little three-way messages, and they're like, they got my support. They're going to answer all the questions for me. I was like, this is easy. So they're just continuously blessing me over and over and over again. So I made sure I told everybody that there's a 60-day money back guarantee, so you don't have anything to lose. I made sure to let them know that I had that discount code for families and friends. So again, more blessings coming their way. And then two, the company's now rolled out it's like a 2-quick question health assessment. So that's been a total game changer. We just send that to people, and that suggests right there, kind of takes it off of suggesting what welcome pack that they want and or need. So back to testimony, being consistent, like Karen said, my husband and I, we're very consistent with really starting in July. Like we were kind of like wishy-washy the first few months, and I kind of changed things that didn't work for me. So I didn't give up. I just changed up my welcome pack or my products. I only get the welcome pack once, but changed up the products. And then so we ended up doing triplex because I figured, you know what, if I fix everything inside, the gut health piece, like the weight loss is going to come definitely from that. That's like the root of your problem. So consistent with my products, the magic window for us was about 60 to 90 days. And just started clicking. Like I think in pictures, we could really see a major difference. So I would suggest make sure you like take your like day one, like a selfie or, together, whatever it may be, and 30 days, 60 days. And so that way you can even see, because sometimes you're looking at yourself every day and you just very little changes, but you don't see it as much. But when you start to put befores and kind of not really after, because you're during, you can really see a difference. So, but after that 60 to 90 days, like total game changer, confidence building, because we officially became a product of the products. We were like, well, this is so once you kind of, everybody else, your friends always help you along the way because you don't feel as confident. But once you start to see results, then you're really gaining your confidence, definitely. So having my husband by my side has definitely been a great, we're great accountability partners. So that definitely does help when somebody else is doing it with you. Hence the get 3 plus you, right? Because you want them to be along your side along the way. But we were down together over 60 pounds in 90 days. Even better than that, not even like, we're trying not to even focus on the number on the scale, but even better than that, we felt amazing. His acid reflux completely gone. He would take like over-the-counter omeprazole, I think it was, like to help with that. Does not have to take it anymore. I have less headaches since my gut is balanced. We have more energy, mental clarity, patience to, like play around with the kids in the evening times. And definitely, and then of course, just regularity, going to the bathroom regular. You don't even think that you kind of go throughout your day before all of this thinking, oh, everything's just normal. No, it wasn't. Now that we are on the other side of it, like, oh my gosh, wow. So, but yeah, we've enjoyed focusing on health together and really like another why is to be great role models for our children and just carry on that legacy, create that lifestyle for them as well. And just the community piece. Like I've really grown to love my new community of women. It's not just women, there's men too, but we support and encourage and just thought I would do life together. I know Karen mentioned that. So, immediately when we started, that 90 days hit, like I started jumping on social media, log in your health journey, and you'd be amazed at how many people sit back and watch your journey. Tons of people are struggling with their health. these days and are desperate for solutions. So I posted in my story a lot. It's pretty cool because you can actually track who's following you. So I reach out to those people that I see constantly and consistently watching me. So I don't wait for them to ask. I'm like, hey, this has blessed me. I want to bless you, kind of thing. So, but you know, this company is amazing. Your purse company doesn't pay you to advertise for them, or your nail girl or anybody like that. So, but they do. So just do it. If you have nothing to lose, it's a no-brainer, friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Lindsay. But I love that because we can very quickly make something super complicated, right? But Lindsay, like she said, she's just literally sharing her journey that your friends and your family want to see. And that was the case for me after I started in March. I remember calling Jenna. It was about 2 weeks in. I was feeling rested. I had more energy. I wasn't needing naps during the day. And I made my first post, you guys, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just so excited that I had energy, that I was feeling rested, and I hadn't had a migraine. Made that post and bam, had friends just messaging left and right, left and right, left and right. We do. We know people that need these products. We know if you have a gut, you 100% need these products, right? So that's what happened. I made my first post and very quickly went silver, senior silver, gold. And then I had friends fall off. We talked about the consistency thing and not giving it time. And that was the case. But part of that piece too, to be honest, was my follow-up. I was not following up. I did not know what I was doing. And I take the blame for some of that because I was not doing that, you know? Like Lindsay said, this isn't a purse or this isn't makeup. This is supplements that are changing lives, and checking up on my friends and family is super important. So in that, I have learned that follow-up is super important. We know that, right? And the consistency is important. We know that piece because we can't expect results if we're not being consistent, if we're not taking our products every day, if we're not drinking our water. So after that happened, and I went silver, senior silver, gold. I spent months after that. Basically, you guys, I'm just being 100% transparent here, doing nothing. From May to about September 2019. Now, mind you, I started in March. I let that friends falling off get the best of me. And I will tell you, I never stopped taking my supplements. I was consistent from day one, but I did let the negative mindset get in there, and it led me to a place of doing nothing. And I started to come back, but it wasn't really until January of 2021. I can honestly say that was my breakthrough. And Kimberly was there, Tara was there, Jenna. We went to, wasn't it Leaders Retreat? I think it was Leaders Retreat in North Carolina. Josie was there. And that was when I got back from that trip. I said, I'm done. I'm done comparing my journey to somebody else's journey. I was done feeling like I wasn't good enough. I know God has given me this as an opportunity to impact lives and families one at a time. Every single life, every single family that I come in contact with, I am going to impact, and I get to do that. So the gifts that God has given me and the abilities that God has given me is to bring him glory. And the same, you guys, is true for you. So I want to encourage you tonight that comparison, if that is something that you are looking at and you're looking at others and you're comparing that your journey isn't going as fast as her journey, I want to encourage you to stop doing that, because what happens is when we start to do that, we don't do anything. We are so busy having our eyes on somebody else that we can't even focus on ourselves, on our own journey, on what God has called each of us to do. So rebuilding was January 2021. Personal belief in myself, personal growth, mindset, non-negotiable since 2021. And these are the things that I pray are non-negotiables for you guys too, no matter where you are, whether you just starting today or you are months in or years in, being a product of the product first and foremost, but then that daily mindset, having that mindset, being in a good place will stop that moment that I was talking about, those months that I didn't do anything. If my mindset, you guys, honestly was in a good place, I can't tell you where I would be today. I don't even know. I don't know. But I will tell you that I do know that, and I was sharing this with a friend the other day, that the things that I had gone through during that time, the things that God was teaching me, I thought I was going to go Ruby at one point, and it was months later, but I wouldn't have been ready. My mindset was not in the place to be ready. So just really dialing in that mindset, taking the time, a couple things that I do, and we're doing this in the Healthy Habits Challenge, our mindset podcast, the Les Brown Challenge, every single day. Drew hears the Les Brown Challenge every single day on the way to school. Other podcast books on mindset and leadership development. I'm in documentaries, guys, to build that belief, daily affirmations and book club on Saturdays. Those are some things that you can do to start. If you're not already, I highly encourage you, don't wait. Start tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, start listening to mindset, start those daily affirmations, whatever it is. So speaking of mindset, I'm super excited to introduce you to Josie tonight. I asked her to touch a little bit on mindset because I know, like I did in January 2021, she had a shift as well. And I asked her to share tonight. So go ahead, Josie. Oh, you're muted. She's coming. Oh. No. Oh man, you guys. It was so good too. Oh no. Okay. So we'll see. I'll move on and see if maybe, hopefully it's good. You guys got to hear it. So she did. She had that shift in her mindset as well as actually New Year's Day. And you guys can hear me, right? Okay. So yeah, she had that shift in her mindset as well. So just not focusing on, again, what other people are doing, comparing the journeys, all of the things, and just knowing like God has called you to do this. He has put people in your lives to impact, and your journey is not supposed to look like anybody else's. So basically, in a nutshell, but I was excited for Josie. Hopefully her mic is gonna.
Do you hear me now?
Oh, yes. Yes.
All right. I have to get off my iPad. Hold on. Because it's echoing. Okay. All right. We're good? You guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. So mind shift. You want to know about my mind shift, right?
Yes.
So it actually happened last month in December because I was, I figured that I had the success sprint and leaders retreat in the bag because I was doing everything I was supposed to do. I had the people. I had my video on. Hold on. She wants to see my face. Sorry, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. So success sprints and all that. So what the mind shift last month was, I was doing all the work. I had the people, and I thought for sure that I was going to make it to Leaders Retreat. Well, the one thing I didn't do was read the rules. And it was probably the second week of January. And I realized, oh, shoot, I have like 5-6 people, but I only had 375 points, success sprint points. So I was devastated. And I actually, believe it or not, I was like, I kind of gave up a little bit. And I spoke to Karen, and Karen was the one who said, don't give up, keep on going, you're gonna make it. Well, being that my husband and I both built the business together, he had the points. He was already like 700 points, but he didn't have the people. And I had people, but not the points. So the very last day of the month, he winded up getting 2 people. We had someone in the works, and I was helping him out to try to get the last person. And it was like 10 o'clock on New Year's Eve. And I gave up. We were going back and forth. And my final text message to this person was, we can't figure out a package that's going to help you. So, thanks for trying. Happy New Year. And I gave up. So my husband read the text, and he was like, that was kind of rude. And I wasn't being rude to him, but I was thinking about what I needed and didn't take the time out to figure out what he needed. And so lo and behold, my husband winded up figuring out something that worked out for him. And we did make it to Leaders Retreat. But at that same time, even though I was excited about going to Leaders Retreat, I was annoyed because I was happy, but I wasn't 100% happy because of the way it took place. So I sat there after we rang in the new year. I was questioning like the business part of it. Like, how does Maria do it? How does Kimberly do it? How does everyone do it? And I'm not doing it, and I was so concerned about how they were doing things. And although I love them, and Kimberly and I we're like, we cheer each other on. We send each other messages all the time. I'll get messages from Kimberly. I see you out there, girl. And I'll congratulate her. And that will never end, because my side sisters and brothers, I want to see everyone to, be successful. But on the other hand, again, I'm sitting there trying to figure out they must be giving something away. I'm like, they're doing something, but that wasn't the fact. The point is, I was sitting there worried about what everyone else was doing. And I wasn't figuring out what it is that I wasn't doing to be where I needed to be and where I want to be in this business. So that's where the mind shift turned. And I said, I need to start focusing on the things that I need to do. Like, for instance, I spoke to Jenna about this. We come to the Zoom, and we plug in every Tuesday and Thursday. We don't miss the Zoom. But and I asked Jenna, when you ask these questions about, what was your takeaway? Or I ask you this question and get back to me. I said, how many people actually do respond to you and answer those questions? She said, only my leaders. She said, my leaders on this team are the ones that are, and that's why they're leaders on the team. So that was my mindset, the change and all that. So it actually happened this month. And since my mindset, my change, I've seen a growth in my business. I have one leg that I have a senior silver. I popped 2, not me personally, but deep into my business. I have a level 1 senior silver and 2 brand new silvers. And I love it. And I'm having so much fun now. And another thing I'm doing is I wasn't time blocking myself. So I had a lot of things going on, but I wasn't able to focus on everything. So now I time block. In the morning, I do what I have to do. There are people that work during the day, so I have to give them some time during the night. But when I do, I tell my family, hey, I need an hour to go help so-and-so out. And I do. So, I mean, and honestly, I love the business. I've always loved the business. My husband and I are 100% committed to building the business. But this month was the month that really shifted for me. So, I'm excited about it. And I know that big things are going to happen for all of us. And if I can do it and I can have that mindset, I know anybody could do it. Right. And another thing that that I realized, that we can't change, like, don't change yourself so other people will like you. Be yourself, and the right people will come along that love you. That's the big thing. Don't change and be yourself.
That's right. Awesome. And I love that you shared that, Josie, because it's so true. Like I see it for you. Like I see that, okay. And Jenna shake it, like we see it. And it's so exciting when you get to that place where that mindset is just boom. And you know, like, oh no, this is what I'm doing. And you go after it. Like God just opens the doors and there she goes. And it's so exciting just to watch the journey. Josie, real quick, will you share, we did something super fun, you guys, on Saturday. Jenna and I, when we first got started, we used to do sip and sees out of the home, and they were so much fun. Like right now we have the second Tuesday of every month, we have our sip and sees. If you're local, those are so much fun just to be together. But we did the sip and sees out of the home, which are a little bit more intimate. Jenna and I didn't when we first got started. But Josie, will you share about Saturday? What happened on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday was so much fun. Before I start about this Saturday that we had our sip and see, I just want everyone to know that my very first sip and see, it's kind of funny. I thought for sure that I was going to have a full house. All my friends were going to join, and I was expected to go diamond that night. Well, out of like 30 people that I invited, and Karen's laughing, 30 people that I invited, and Jenna and Kenny both came out because we were going to go big that night. Zero people showed up, but it was so awesome because I got to sit with the Hutalas. We sat down and we talked, and they didn't leave. I think it was like 11:30 when they left our house. So it did happen. You know, I did have that story that no one showed up, and I actually thought they were. Like I thought I was gonna like really go big that night. But anyway, this sip and see that we had Saturday was awesome. We drove to Vero, and I encourage everyone. I mean, I could have done the sip and see myself, but bring someone along with you. Bring your upline. We went with Karen, and even though we were 5 people, including Karen and I, it's always good to bring someone else if they can come, because Karen related to someone there. I don't remember the situation, Karen, because I know you spoke with her. She had.
Yeah. Sorry, she had pseudo seizures as well, and very rare that I run into anybody that has had those. So we just had that connection.
Yeah, and if she asked me about that, I actually had never heard of it before, so it felt good. But it was great because that was the day that the one-on-one. I like the sip and sees because people see the passion in you and how much you love the products and being real. And they relate better. So while Karen was talking to the lady about the pseudo seizures, they related better, and then I was able to help the other 2, and that's where we winded up having everyone sign up. The fast start silvers. The lady signed up, and then she was so happy that we were there. She asked if we can go back because once she gets her products, she wants to have a sip and see with her friends. So I love that. I love the one-on-one. I love being with people, and that's my favorite part, is just sharing the love and sharing the business and the products with the people. And they see it on me, like on my face when I'm being real. You know, I love being with people.
Yeah, thanks, Josie. It was so much fun. And it reminded me, because it had been a while since we've done sip and sees out of the home. And I was like, man, I really enjoy doing sip and sees. So we're going to get back to that. We're going to do some more in-home sip and sees. But just kind of thinking outside of the box. And that's one of the things, like Josie shared, we did that sip and see on Saturday, super fun. And people right now are craving community. So just to be together and to sit around and have a cup of coffee and talk about, you know, life and what we're doing. And it's seriously so much fun. Real quick, I know Jenna and Kenny, I'm going to pass it to them in a minute, but we have 5 days left, you guys, in this month. So exciting, because we know that it is Miracle Week. Miracle, the next 5 days, incredible what can happen. So 3 years after being with the company, in March will be 3 years. I can tell you, we are getting ready to move into massive momentum these next couple months. So buckle up, don't stop. We talked about the mindset. We talked about personal growth. We talked about belief in yourself, belief in the products. Don't stop. Don't compare journeys. But really quick, Lindsay, can I pass it to you? Will you share your goals for the next 6 months? Real fast.
Yes, like fast forward.
Fast forward.
So yeah, the community piece, you all, especially the main ones on the call, have really like saw my potential in me immediately. So, and you've challenged me along the way. This company is just basically allowing me to dream again. And so it really started like when I was invited to go to Dallas with the ladies, and got to learn from top entrepreneurs in the business. And then that's when there's like just that bonding together. They really like encouraged me and again shared with the potential that I had, and just to continue to build me up every single day since then. I discovered on that trip my God-given purpose was to serve and bless others. And when the next big event came out for Plexus, Super Saturday, that just happened a couple of weeks ago, sitting and learning for a few hours and just hearing about the company was just mind-blowing, because knowing that that's my purpose, the company, the One Plexus family, is all about that, serving and blessing others. So I was just like, I am at home, definitely. So, but I knew that after the first trip, the second trip, I was like, I'm going to take my husband along with me, because I kind of just want to instead of going by myself, go with my husband, because knowing that, in the next 6 months, is to be Emerald. So I knew that I'm not gonna be able to do this on my own. I definitely need my husband by my side. I want to be a leader that builds leaders to get me there. And that's just not exactly where I want to end. Of course, I want to continue to go. So, but that is kind of a short-term goal for me. And we spent some time, learned through the day. We got to climb a mountain together in Arizona. Like, I'm not really one to dream of I've never really wanted the desire to travel anywhere. It's kind of because I'm thinking I don't have any money to do this, but now it's kind of now I have the opportunity, it has laid in front of me, of being able to earn an extra income. Wow, I can actually dream again. We can travel and we can do these places. So it's kind of a little taste of that a couple weeks ago, which is super exciting. So after that, just kind of spending time together, we started planning out our systems, our goals. So lucky to have him by my side, but he's all in, kind of like Josie was saying, a team together, all in, and we're just going to plan to be consistent 365 days a year until we reach our goals and dreams and even surpass them. So we're trusting God, we're trusting the process. Of course, if we can do it, you guys can do it too.
Right. So a couple of things, keep your eyes focused forward, you guys. Run the race that God has set out for you, not anybody else but you, because what he has called you to is for you. And whenever you get frustrated or discouraged or feeling like you want to quit, I encourage you to reach out, to let your upline know you are not in this alone. You are in business for yourself, but you are never by yourself. And last, celebrate your wins, celebrate her wins, celebrate his wins, and we can do this together. All right, I'm going to pass this off to Kenny, and then I think Kimberly and Jenna are going to share when Kenny's done.
Jenna's over here going, you're not going to have any time to talk.
I know. I'm looking at the time oh my gosh.
Look at you.
Hey,
What?
I got to do a shout out. Ladies, Karen, Lindsay, Josie, awesome. Did an awesome job. And
Drop the mic.
And I got to say, I don't know who this guy is pretending to be Sean, but good Lord, you look
Fantastic.
freaking good.
I'm over
dude.
here poking him going, Sean is shrinking.
Look at your face,
Look at
bro.
Sean.
Your face.
That's a muscle.
That's awesome, man. Keep it up. Keep it
Keep
up.
it up.
Keep it
You're
up.
doing it.
Love that, man. I mean, I really was like, holy cow. Look totally different. Totally different. I just had to say that.
Man crush.
Yeah. I got a little weird there, but anyways, but awesome on the stories and a lot of the consistency part all tied in. But one story I want to say is really quick was Kira actually had me watch or listen to a podcast from Ed Milet, and it was about American Underdog, the movie American Underdog. It came out in December about Kurt Warner. He's a former Hall of Fame football player for the NFL, and his story was very fascinating. How he started, basically his last senior year in college, went to the pros, got cut, then ended up working at the supermarket, and then from that point, I can't remember the whole time frame. Then he went to the CFL and Europe League for 3 years, and then ended up in the NFL. One of the stories that he talked about when he was a stock boy or a man is that he came to like an aha moment, like what Josie was talking about, was he started realizing, hey, if I'm here, because he's a Christian, so he's like, Lord, I don't know what's going on. I believe I'm good enough to be in the NFL, but right now, this moment, I'm in whatever that store, Piggly Wiggly, whatever it was, and I'm stocking shelves. Not where I thought I was going to be. So his aha moment was, if this is where you have me right now, which he believed is only temporary, is that he's going to be the best stock person there is. And one thing they call it, it's called facing. I didn't know what it was. So when you're done stocking it, you look at the end of your aisle and you push all the products from the back to the front. And he said, if anything, I'm going to be the best, and the label's got to be straight. And so when you're looking for a soup, cream and mushroom soup, you know where it's at. Boom, it's out there. Not like in certain stores, you got to look behind things to get it. But, you know, it's up front. So he decided that moment that he's going to be the best stock person there ever was. That started his journey to propel him in the NFL, because coaches said, you have the talent, but you're not willing to practice. You're not willing. I can't trust you on Sundays if you're not willing to work Monday through Friday. So people have big goals at the end of the month, but what about the first 25 days? We heard it. Consistency is the key. I love what Kimberly talks about. She goes right out the door, and Maria does too, and others, is that first day of the month, bam, they hit it like it's the last day of the month. And not that they let up, it's just they know you got to sometimes plant the seeds. And sometimes they're not going to grow in less than 12 hours before midnight, and you need it. Like the case Josie was talking about. I love the fact that Anthony stepped in and said, hey, that was rude. I don't know exactly how it went down, but the way I think he was trying to say was like, look, it's about him, that person. And I think she was like, you know what, you're right. You know, sometimes it doesn't happen. Like Karen, I remember those days where it was like, oh my goodness, she's going to make Ruby. And then next thing you know, a couple months went by. But we saw that diamond potential March of 19. It just took her this long to figure it out. Like that, yeah, you're like you're saying right here in the background, her rank hasn't caught up to her yet. And you see that belief. And sometimes there's like a slow progression. Like I just mentioned Sean. Look, now he's been on for what, about a year?
A little
over a year. And I don't know if it was consistent or not the whole time, but he's always been around. But something has shifted because I see it. It's manifesting in the physical. And it's really cool to see. And I could just imagine what's happening in the spiritual and the mental and all that stuff. I mean, these calls are the bomb. I don't know what the mindset that I give you, I should charge you thousands of dollars for.
85,000.
Yes, let's go with that.
Is what Courtney said.
But I do it because I understand what it's like to look in the mirror and see nothing but a fat person. Even though you bust your butt and work out 6 days a week, and you don't look like that person, but in your eyes you do.
You don't like
Until
who
you
see
get
it.
this straight, a lot of stuff is not going to work out because you're always going to self-sabotage. If you want things to change, you got to be willing for you to change it, not anybody else. And I've told you that you want the atmosphere to shift, Go in that atmosphere and shift it. You change it. We're seeing it. It doesn't have to take 12 months, 5 months, 2 months. You can do it from day one. I know it's hard. It's a hard journey, but it's a good hard. And if a leader comes up to you and says, hey, let's do this, work on this, because they see potential. They don't see a silver. They're looking at saying, man, I see a sapphire, diamond, emerald, whatever. You're like, no, I can't. Yeah. If you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to just pick up that axe with you and knock it. And once you figure that out, like, wow, they haven't left my side. Like Karen said, she kind of shut down. There was a period, I remember that. Now I was so frustrated. I was like, what is it going to take for this girl to understand that she's got it? Actually, she's got it more than what Jenna has. She just doesn't believe it yet. You guys think she's great. Jenna is great, but she works. But she wasn't always like that. There was a shift when she started Flex. There was a shift. Probably started when you started making your bed. But there was like a consistency. And that's a key to anything you do. Just be consistent. And if it doesn't work out, so what? Keep chopping the tree, because next day the sun does come up, and the next day, because if it doesn't, we're all screwed. Sun does come up the next day. You have a brand new day. That's all I got.
Amen.
Drop mine. 85 checks in the mail.
Leave me hanging.
All right, go ahead.
Kimberly, you're gonna hit off and then I'll close out.
All right, I do not have much time. It is 8:57 and we are going to respect everybody's time on this call. I do want to say I have something on my phone that relates to comparison. So when you guys have a comparison moment, right? You're like looking at somebody else's journey, or you're wondering something about somebody else. It could be somebody's hair, it could be somebody's lashes, it could be whatever. I have this in my notes, and it's by Bob Goff. I'm sure you guys know him. And it says, we won't be distracted by comparison if we are captivated by purpose. Right? So if you want the quote, I'll put it in Dream Chasers. I will make sure I put it in there. But have it available to you. Put it on your mirror, put it in your car, wherever you want. But that's a perfect reminder as to why somebody else's journey doesn't matter for me, because that's their purpose. My purpose is my purpose. It's not the same. And then we as leaders, Karen, Maria, Jen, and I have been getting together. We are starting something really cool in February, guys. Is everybody ready? Like, you're not ready. We are super excited about this. So, you know, I'm all about cheering everybody on and each other and loving on each other well. So we thought, what better way to do that than to be in threads together, running together. Sideline sisters, golds who are running together are in a thread together, doing the same things, meeting up, talking about where they're at, what their numbers are. Rising Rubies, we're gonna have a Rising Rubies thread as well. So if you're a gold or a senior gold already, you will be in the Rising Rubies thread. We are also gonna roll out a thread that is gonna be specific to helping get your supplements covered. It is not gonna be about business. It isn't gonna be, let's go silver, fast start bonuses. It isn't. It's gonna be, hey, I would love to add you to this thread because we are passionate about helping people get their supplements covered. What? So all those things are going to be rolling out. We are super excited, you guys. Be looking for everything. Make sure you get your information in that we ask for so that we can get you added to the threads you need to be in. We love you guys. Jenna.
I love it. So these threads are being ran by your senior rubies, your emeralds, your sapphires, and your diamonds. And so what is going to start to happen, you guys, is that you're going to start to see different faces, different leadership styles, right? But this is what we hope and we pray that you grasp a hold of, is that while we all have unique stories, we all have different stories, we all work similar, but we're all very different. We all have the same boat. We all have a roar. We all have an oar, and we are all rowing in the same direction. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story real quick. So you guys know Genevieve. She's one of our trainers, and she's got this spectacular title. In our training, when Kimberly and I were out in Arizona last November, she's on stage. Now, this is a leadership training. Like, these are emeralds and above, and she's like laying it down. She says, listen, some of you have boats, and you have invited people to join your boat. Have you done that? Oh my gosh, I have the best stuff ever. Come join my party. We're having so much fun. Then she's like, but then some of you have told them they don't need to do anything. Just come join my party. I will do it all for you. You don't have to do anything. So you got lots of people that join your party. They get in your boat. They're back there. They're partying it up. Your boat gets heavier and heavier. And what are you doing? You're out there and you're rowing. And you're going to get tired. And you're rowing. And then you're going to get resentful because you're rowing all those people back there. Some aren't rowing. Some are partying. Who knows what? Some people are getting off. They're like, this boat's taking too long. Get me off this boat. Right? You're going to get upset. And at some point, you're going to turn around and be like, heifers, row.
True story.
True story. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I hope somebody videotaped that. Did
We
she
are
just call
getting
everybody a
shirts.
heifer?
I'm sorry. Hashtag heifers row.
Hashtag
We're getting
heifers
shirts.
row. I was like, somebody tell me that they recorded that. Like, did she call us all heifers? Is that a derogatory term, or is that like a trendy new thing? I don't know. But this is the deal. We might actually come up with a t-shirt for you guys. Don't be offended. You're rowing. And it might be like, we're heifers rowing heifers or something. We'll show up, give Genevieve a shirt. She will think it's the funniest thing ever. But the point of the story is, you, like climbing Mount Everest, cannot ascend a mountain alone. You can attempt to, you can try, you can probably get very far in your own journeys individually. But what it takes is a team coming along in front of you, beside you, behind you, to equip and encourage and empower you to do the things that you want to do, not to compare journeys. So that is why this year in 2022, we want to row together more than ever. And this team is incredible at that already. But what we've seen is that we all have different threads, and we'll continue. Your leaders will continue to have their cheering threads. They will continue to run their own specials, have information that they're sharing. That's not going to change. But Karen is going to be running our product lovers group so that you guys will know what that looks like. Again, we're going to have more information coming out. Maria is going to be running your Going Gold group. Okay, that is for intentional silvers and senior silvers, those going for gold. Rising Rubies is going to be ran by Kimberly, and it's going to be sharing about developing others, right? That's the focus. When you're Ruby, Senior Ruby, when you're going Senior Ruby to Emerald, you're got me. We're going to dig in to the real nitty gritty of leadership and developing others, because the end goal is not just reaching that goal. Like James Clear says in Atomic Habits, it is about becoming the person in the process, right? So who do you wish to be? What does that leader look like? That's a question you should be writing down. Like let's write that down. Who do you wish to be? What does that leader look like to you? I want to hear, because there might be a process that you're going to have to go through. And it might be like Karen talked about, Josie talked about, Kenny talked about. It might be that process of pulling off layers, lies, old beliefs, maybe habits that you've picked up that aren't healthy. Maybe it's self-sabotage. Maybe it's that belief. Maybe it's self-image issues. So I'm here to tell you, you can lose 70 pounds and you still might not like the person looking back at you. So it's not about a number on a scale. It is really about that process of becoming. We do not rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems. So we have a system. We know it works. Now that next phase, as we go into a season of incredible, massive amounts of momentum, is to really empower and equip you with an additional tool for you to be able to share. And so February is not just a month that we fall in love and we celebrate Valentine's and all the things. Like you heard, we're going to be kicking off these new groups, which is incredible. But also we are going to restart a new challenge in February. Our 21-day challenge for January is already getting to regularly come to a close, right? The next couple of days we'll be closing out this challenge, which is just that introductory idea. But in February, it is Heart Healthy Month. It is a month that we are going to be focusing in healthy habits about creating healthy habits that are associated with heart health specifically. So our goal is every month that we tackle a new subject. It will always be the topic, healthy habits. The subtopic will be whatever it is that month. For February, it's heart health and awareness. So there will be recipes. There will be a steps challenge. There's going to be weekly prizes, a grand drawing. We're going to have a lot of fun. And these are things that you can start inviting friends to now. You have the coupon codes. You have the sale going on. Now you have a new challenge as well. All right. So that information is going to be dropped tonight and tomorrow. We'll have graphics for you and everything for you to share over the weekend so that you feel like you have something. But don't forget, you should already have the sale graphics for this week. All of the leaders have already dropped that information for you guys. And if you need to add something to it, just reach out and let us know. If you as an individual want to bless your friends with something additionally, just reach out and let us know. We'll slap a sticker on it. Okay? So you got to hear from Karen tonight and Josie and Lindsay. Thank you guys so much. What an incredible call. Can we just give them like unmute and just give them a cheer?
Yes.
Good job.
Great job.
Great
Yes.
job, girl.
good.
Good job.
Very
Thank
good.
you guys.
You got him,
Loved it.
Proud of
Heifers.
y'all.
Guys,
So
You
amazing.
got this, heifers.
I took
I think
three.
that was Sharon.
Yeah, it was.
Vital biome. I love it, Karen. I love it.
A
Good
couple
job,
vital
ladies.
Did it. Stretched yourself out of your comfort zone and you're learning something new. And you absolutely killed it.
Thank you guys.
Thank
You
you.
can do the hard things.
Mm,
Can't do
It wasn't easy.
But you
Can
did
do
it. All right. So that is our Pink Life Live for this week. We're going to be back. Also, you guys, we have some exciting news. We're starting to plan different opportunity calls for you to be able to plug people into, as well as our Thursday night call. So little things are being tweaked and fine-tuned to be even more effective. Our first Sip and See for February is February 8th. That is going to be date night. So you want to invite your spouses or your friends. We're going to have some special guest speakers that are going to be sharing their testimonies as couples, what it looks like, why accountability in a home together is really key, because that can either sabotage you unintentionally, or it can actually drive you to be better, to do better together. So we're excited for that. It's going to be a ton of fun. That is at the same location, February 8th. Tomorrow night, the event page is going to go live. So you will be able to invite friends to that event page specifically for that Sip and See. All right, we're done. We're out. Have a great night. And thank you so much, you guys, for joining us tonight.
And rock it the rest of the month.
Thank you,
Yes.
guys.
Good night.
Row,
Bye.
heifers, row.
Hey, guys.